starring Robert Hayes and John Mendoza. The all-new comedy Guys Like Us, right after Grace, ABC Wednesday.
This is a serious commitment.
I know, Dad.
Well, what about the others?
They don't compare.
There's more to consider than just beauty.
I know.
There's inner qualities like warmth and strength.
I know.
And you'll have stormy days, too.
I've thought about all that, Dad.
Well, for 30 years, your mother and I have loved our Pella windows, and I know you'll be happy with yours.
Thanks, Dad.
Get your free idea booklet on Pella's remarkable shades between the glass. Call 800-64-PELLA.
Every day, Lilco's power plants are available to produce electricity for more than 1 million homes and businesses on Long Island. It's a complex system, and it takes teamwork to get the job done. Lilco engineers work to improve the efficiency of power generation, and specialists buy the most economical mix of fuels for producing electricity, while our maintenance crews make sure the power plants work reliably. In fact, Lilco's record of power plant reliability is twice as good as the national average. The Lilco team, working together for reliable service.
Lasers bringing new light to old eyes, Monday at 5.
Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports, U.S. swimming gets tuned up for the Atlanta Games in the Santa Clara International Swim Meet. And the world's greatest bicycle race begins with the Tour de France, presented by the United States Postal Service. Plus, pro beach soccer from England. That's all Saturday on ABC Sports. Well, apparently Hero has finally ended his day against the barrier. No damage to him, and hopefully the car is not damaged. He gives a quick waves to the fans. One of the nice things on the track here is that there are a lot of those mounds, and you can just throw out your picnic blanket and drop down and enjoy the race here in Portland. On board Parker Johnstone, he currently is trying to chase down the 7th place car of Andre Ribeiro. Nothing has changed at the front of the order, and that battle for 2nd place for the time being seems to have moved into a stationary battle. The line is narrowing just a bit. We see quite a bit of spent rubber, the marbles just offline on the course. So at Portland, it is Alex Zanardi that is the leader. He has dominated this race. Jill DeFerrin was chasing him for a while, and Christian Fittipaldi was chasing DeFerrin. But as they flash across the start-finish line, for the moment, it is not a fight. At the same time, this is Parker Johnstone is trying to make a move on Ribeiro, and it's a battle for 7th place. So as we watch it, did Ribeiro just miss one there? Blundell also moving in there.
Don't forget, Mark Blundell is right there waiting to reap the rewards if those two guys mess up. He's right under Parker's gearbox right there.
And we'll stay watching this while we go to Jackaroo.
Well, another Brazilian, as we watch some of them show their promise out there on the racetrack, is out. Raul Boisel, what put you out of the race?
It was a short day for the Brahma Sports team. You know, the engine just, without warning, went and just finished our day. So it's unfortunately, but the good thing race that we have a race in Cleveland next weekend.
A lot of consternation by the Ford teams. Ford does not seem to have stepped up to the plate in the competition against Mercedes and Honda.
Yeah, Ford came with a new engine this year, still in development stages, and I'm sure they'll get not only power but the reliability pretty soon. That's what we need.
Well, he wants to get to Cleveland so badly, he's already packed his bag, and he's just waiting to cross the racetrack.
Unfortunately, he's also just scored his 5th DNF of the season. So Raul Boisel out of the race, showered, shaved, and on his way to Cleveland, which of course is in 1 week from today. Looking back from Parker Johnstone now. And that's Blundell trying to close in. And Stefan Johansson is next in the line, followed by Gordon, who currently runs 11th. There you're on board with Stefan Johansson. So onboard cameras bracketing this battle.
Disappear down there. He just checked to make sure he had it in top gear, but he just goes down, And that's what they call a sequential gearbox, which means it's like a motorcycle. All they do is they just pull back on the lever. They don't have to actually find the gate or find the gear. They just keep pulling back, and when they want to go down the gear, they just push forward.
Let's move a little farther forward now. Bobby Rahal and Al Unser Jr. You're right on board Rahal. He is currently fourth. Al Unser Jr. is just behind him.
Paul, one other thing that I should point out when they're shifting there is nobody uses the clutch on the shift. They just pull back, and in fact, when they're going up a gear, they don't even have to take their foot off the throttle. They can just hold it down. They've got all these electronics that control the engine when you shift.
So the clutch only to get away.
Only to get away.
Well, look how this battle tightens up. There's second place to Barron, third place Fittipaldi, and Blundell pulls out of the fight.
No, that's Emerson Fittipaldi in the left of your screen, going very slowly. He pulled out of the back. He's got something wrong. He just pulled off there, checked in his mirror to make sure he could pull all the way across. His day's done.
Well, that's too bad. Emerson was having a good run. And all of a sudden, for a second there, I thought it was Mark Blundell that pulled out of this battle. That's why I thought it. I saw the move of the car coming over. And Blundell comes in. Why would he come in?
He must have had some kind of a tire problem or whatever for them to stop with only about 20 laps to go.
So Emerson Fittipaldi pulls by the wayside. That won't bring out a full course yellow, while Mark Blundell drops out of that battle and goes into the pits.
Just how long does a car battery last? About this much time is put into most batteries. But AC Delco puts in more time, so our batteries last over 20% longer. Well, now there's the Delco Freedom 84, our longest lasting battery ever. We put in 7 years of guaranteed starts, making it the granddaddy of all batteries.
Hey, my watch! Wendy's crispy chicken nuggets are all white meat, and now you get 5 for only 99 cents. I see a lot of you getting them for your kids. Then I see you eating their nuggets when they're not looking. Come on, buy your own.
Get 5 Wendy's chicken nuggets, now just 99 cents every day.
If you're up early enough to have the road to yourself, driving can actually be fun.
My hot rod days are over, but I'm still more likely to pass than to be passed.
Sometimes on the weekends, my husband and I just like to kind of take off and lose ourselves in the beautiful scenery. If he's driving, west.
That way.
That's very easy.
Now with $600 cash back, Ford Contour's just $14,730. Or get incredible 2.9% APR financing. Hurry, this offer ends soon.
Born at Indy, driven everywhere.
My brother told me to watch his chicken nuggets for a minute so no one eats them. But when someone gets nuggets, it's hard not to try one.
Now get 5 all-white meat Wendy's chicken nuggets for 99 cents.
Who ate my nuggets? Steve Thomas.
Later in the race here in the Budweiser 200 as Alex Zanardi. DS timing shows that we are 6.1 seconds back to that bright yellow car of Jill DeBaron, then Christian Fittipaldi, then Bobby Rahal, and then Al Unser Jr. We saw Emerson Fittipaldi pull over to the right side on the main straight, come to a stop at the pit exit, and the question, Jack, is why?
Well, you saw how quickly he pulled off to a stop and how he was out of the throttle because of the problem, Paul, a faulty gearbox. He's out for the day.
And he gets a quick interview with Brazilian television and a corner worker that is trying to say, hey, don't step out onto that racetrack. I think Emerson knows exactly where he's going. Al Unser Jr. makes a move on Bobby Rahal, picks up 4th place. So Al Unser Jr., who's just been stalking, just lurking behind Rahal, suddenly makes the move and comes around, picks up 4th. Christian Fittipaldi is his next target. round. Bobby Rahal picks up 4th place. Zanardi still the leader of the run, followed by DeFerrin and Christian Fittipaldi. Here's what happened.
Bobby looked like he went in, braked high, got out on the marbles, and little Al just dove up underneath him. That's a spot there where he just tried to go in a little too deep and got out wide. He did a good job of saving it, but of course he lost a spot in the process.
82 laps complete, 98 scheduled, and the further we go, the more that rubber moves out into those marbles and makes it much more difficult to get offline and to protect your position. So Bobby Rahal drops back to 5th, Gary.
Talking with Tim Cindric with the crew here just to see if there was any difficulty. He said the car maybe a little bit of an understeer. They're trying to pace themselves to finish. They want a top 5 finish. He said it just kind of slipped away from Bobby for a moment. No major problems. I think they're satisfied as they've been able to get up to the top 5 from so far back in the pack, but maybe a little frustrated they couldn't be even more competitive in the late laps.
Still 4 cars all lined up right together in a battle for 2nd place. DeFerrin, Fittipaldi, Unser Jr., and Rahal. Jack Emerson Fittipaldi finally comes down a little closer into the pit area. What was his problem?
Well, I'll tell you what, Brazilian TV can go out on the racetrack, but I'll wait for Emo to get to me. We've documented the gearbox problem, but it just seems to be problem after problem for your team this year. How frustrating is it for you, Emo?
Well, Jack, I was very pleased with the performance today. When it was rain, I moved up to 4th place, and then I was catching Junior now. I could stay with the leaders, and then the gearbox had a problem. It's a shame, but guys running much stronger now. I hope to do well next race.
When you have bad luck, the litany that you've had this year, how tough is it for the driver to stay focused?
Well, I think we are focused now. I mean, that was one of the best performances this year. I mean, I did the second quickest lap of the race, and I'm happy and looking for a good race in Cleveland.
Off to Cleveland.
And there's his nephew, Christian Fittipaldi, running 3rd, chasing DeFerrin.
Now, you know one thing I love about Emerson, I've raced against him, he's always got a good, positive attitude. You know, he has things go wrong. It hasn't been a great season for him. And, you know, he's still standing there smiling. And, you know, and this guy has done it all. I mean, he's a 2-time world champion, 2-time IndyCar champion, 2-time Indianapolis 500 champion, won all over the world. Just one of the great, great race drivers of all time.
Yeah, and may become a grandfather this weekend.
Yeah, that's what.
And is very proud of it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he loves his kids, and I'm sure he'll be a great grandfather.
Christian Fittipaldi, perhaps not as well liked at the moment as a member of the family. He's still on circuit while Emerson is out, and Christian is trying to catch Jill DeFerrin. There's the leader. There's DeFerrin. There's Christian. There's Al Unser Jr. Bobby Rahal has fallen back a bit.
Well, if what Bobby's guy says is true, too, and he's just trying to, you know, finish. He's got about 13 laps to go. He's going to be sitting there. He's trying to pace himself. He knows he can't get by little Al or catch him. He just doesn't want to lose the spot to Parker Johnstone.
So 85 laps are complete in the run here in the Budweiser 200. It looks like it just may be Alex Zanardi's day for his very first win in IndyCar. Still, there's some time to go.
We'd like to take a few seconds to show you something you don't see very often. Mechanics working on a Honda.